Well, hello everyone. It's Patrick from Joys of Carter Life. Today I want to talk a little bit about a situation that happened this week. I still haven't found my niche yet on what I want to speak about in these little sessions, but it's about Joys of Carter Life, and it's just about things that we go through in our life and the funny stories of things that happen and all those things. So it's kind of neat because in the same way as my family starts growing and moving on with their lives, this will give them something that they could look back on years from now. And also for us, me and my wife have now reached that very middle point of our lives. We've reached the 50s. So now our family's like, they're all gone. So it is not all gone, but all spread out everywhere. So it's one way to keep in touch with everyone. Well, as you see in the description, the title of this one is I'm on my way to the hospital. Okay, let me explain this to you. I have a 21-year-old son who has went on to higher education, has got his technical skill and an associate's degree in specialized technology. That means he's FAA certified to work on planes and inspect planes to make sure they're meeting their requirements. They have like a year biannually and all those kind of things. Well, my son, okay, before I go on, he's 21, right? 21. Remember that number. I always thought when the child leaves home, it gets easier. I disagree now. I totally disagree. Because, when they were at home, at least you had control of what they did. Now you just have to pray and be like, oh, Lord, please let me have taught him the right way, and he makes the right decisions. Because, he's 21. He's out on his own. His life decisions are based on him and God, not me anymore. But I do listen when he talks to us about things, and I'm kind of his sounding board, and we'll pray over it. But then you hang up and you think, oh my, I sure hope he sees the light, because been there, done that, doesn't work. So, things like that. Well, anyhow, my son lives in Missouri. My daughter, who will be 12 next month, but she's going on 24, was home. Okay, we were here at the house doing some schoolwork or whatever, and my wife was not home. She was with her mom, taking care of some things her mom had to get done. And so it was just me here and Winona. I had forgotten. On my phone, it has like individual places where you can turn it, like the text off, or you can turn the phone off, or anything like that. Well, I had my phone, I had the ringtone up because of Sonda being out. But for Patrick, for everything else, I didn't have text or anything because I didn't have it turned up. Well, somewhere about noon on Tuesday, somewhere like around in there, I get a call from Sonda. I'm like, hey babe, what's up? She's like, have you heard from Patrick? I said, no, why? She said, you didn't get a text from him? I said, no, let me check. I'm like, oh, I did. I said, I'll find out what's going on, because both of us, all we got on our phone, no lie, is a text from him saying, I'm on my way to the hospital. Now, my son lives in Missouri. He is on the other side of Missouri, down in Springfield, Missouri. So it takes us 12 to 14 hours to get to his house. Well, of course, now I'm like, all right, mine going a mile a minute. I have no idea what's going on, why he's going to the hospital, no what. But, so then your mind starts playing tricks on you because you know he works on airplanes. And you know, with airplanes, fluids, rust, parts, engine parts, it could be anything, right? So I text him, I called him, I video called him, I Googled called him. I didn't get any answer. And I was to that point, I'm like, child, your fingers better be broke since you're not picking up this phone. And so then we're still nothing, you know? And I think, oh, all I can think of is he got really hurt. And the police were going to show up at our door and give us news that we don't want. Okay. And I know I was in a position like that when that could have happened to me, but it's a different ballgame when it's your child. So all this is going on in my mind. Sonda is nice and calm. Winona wanted ramen noodles. So we went down and me and her were making some, and Patrick called. Okay, now, this is all I got. He's like, my boss and me were in an accident. We got chemicals on us. Gotta go. That's it. Okay. Winona is calm. She's like, he's okay, Dad. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be talking to you on the phone. And I'm thinking, I wish he would talk more to me on that phone. And so we made the noodles. We're sitting, she's eating. And you know, I was a chemical soldier for 6 years. And then I worked in the civilian sector with chemicals. And everything just goes through your mind when you hear that. Okay, was it toxic? Is it skin? Just on your skin, or has it burned all the way through? What did they give you to put on it? Are you gonna have to have surgery? Do you have to have bandages? Or your eyes? Yeah, no, all that stuff. I got zip. Well, although I thought it was kind of neat, little side note, all those years working in chemicals, everywhere I've been, I have never had to use those eye wash things, you know, that they have along the walls and stuff, and you flush out your eyes. All those years, I've never had to use one. And I always wondered if they really were there to work or just show for OSHA. But anyhow, he had to use it, so I know it works. But anyhow, I don't know that yet. Well, okay. I get absolutely nothing. So I called my wife and I told her, I said, he got a chemical burn. She's like, and? I'm like, and? I mean, that's all we got. So I kept trying to get through to him because that child was going to give me more answers. Because I'm thinking, he's halfway across the country and he's dropping a bombshell like that. And so, finally, later on in the evening, called to make sure he was okay. And by that point, we knew that his was superficial, didn't need anything on it, just make sure he scrubbed himself up really good. It was his boss that got really bad, and Patrick went to help and all that, and he accidentally got some. So it was no big deal. Everything's good to go. But once I found out this child was okay, I did what any American parent would do. I let him have it full barrels. I'm like, my wife was sitting beside me, and I'm like, what have you done? Have you lost your marbles to send a text like that to your parents, and you're halfway across the country and you don't even tell us what's going on? Oh, I was a little bit, and I said, what were you thinking? You had your mother worried crazy, sick. And she's sitting beside me. She's looking at me, and I'm like, yes, you really upset your mom. Actually, I'm the one that was like, ah. But anyhow, so after we got through that, I found out, he said, yeah, I told my boss, watch my phones get a blow up. I told my parents I was on my way to the hospital. No. For any of you out there that have adult children, that doesn't cut it. You don't do that to your parents. We've been good parents. We have raised you. You are on your own now. You do not scare your parents half to death like that. So I'm like, for now on, you get hurt or any accidents, you make sure you give all the details, or don't tell us at all. Because, I'm thinking, oh boy, how are we going to get out there? What's the quickest route? And is he going to need help? Is he going to be in a care facility? What's all going to be going on? So, but anyhow, it was a one-day thing. He went back to work the following day. His boss was out for a few days. I don't know if he's back yet, but he was being treated. And Patrick was back to work the next day. Everything was going great. So, the moral of the story: if you live halfway across the country from your parents, do not send them a text and say, I'm on my way to the hospital. Don't do it. Tell them what is going on. Don't make your parents bug you to death to find out what's going on. So, but anyhow, I think we got that straight with him, and I think we're all good to go. My heart's back in my chest again, and everything's good. So that's the moral of the story. If you live halfway across the country, don't send a text to your parents, I'm on the way to the hospital, and don't give them anything else. So, well, most of you are getting ice in this heavy snow, so stay warm. And just thank you for watching. And if you like it, subscribe. And if you're watching it because I sent it to you, remember the channel's Joys of Carter Life. I really appreciate it if you watch it and subscribe and share. So, all right. Talk to you later. Bye.